Hey campers, it's Gonzo here. I hope you've had a great week so far with your Camp in a Box activities. Today we are doing play day and I'm here to teach you how to make your pool noodle rocket. To do your pool noodle rocket, you will need the section of the pool noodle that you cut off from the rest when you made your sprinkler. It should be about 24 inches long. You'll need that. You will need 2 rubber bands from your Camp in a Box. You will need your duct tape. You will need this paper from your instructions that has the pool noodle rocket fin template. You will also need your box, the piece of your box. We're going to cut it up and use it for this activity. Things that you need from your house that you might not have in your box is scissors, and then a wooden pencil. And we're going to break this, so you're not going to be able to use it anymore. So don't use your mom's favorite pencil or anything. This pencil we'll be breaking. So to get started, the first thing I'm going to do is do my fins. So to do that, I'm going to cut out this pattern here, and I'm going to trace it onto my box. So I've cut out along the solid black lines of my template, and I cut the fins apart. And now I'm going to cut on these dotted lines, but they're dotted so you don't go all the way through. You just cut to where the dots end, because this is how we're going to make our fins fit together. Now that I've got that done, I'm going to trace it onto my box here. I'm just going to go around the paper. And then here where you cut the slit, you want to draw down inside the slit if you can. Very good. There we go. And then to save space on your box, you want to put this side of the template up close to where you just traced so you can use the same bottom line for both fins. And then you only have to cut once. There you go. Now I'm going to cut this out from the cardboard and make sure that when you cut these 2 lines, that you only cut to where the line ends, not all the way through. Okay, so I've got my 2 fins cut out and I cut the slits in them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the one with the slit on the bottom and I'm going to push the slits together like this. And if I cut them correctly, they should slide all the way down together and sit flat like this. You might have to move them back and forth. But there's my fins for my rocket. Beautiful. Next, I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to give an idea of where the middle is. I'm going to bend it so I can see kind of where the middle is and make a little cut. And I'm going to cut my pool noodle in half right there. Now, you could make 2 rockets out of this one piece of pool noodle if you want, because they're going to be the same size at the end. The instructions are exactly the same. Just do it twice. So, got my pool noodle here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some slits in the pool noodle so I can slide this all the way down to the bottom of the fins here. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball on my scissors how far down it needs to go. And I'm going to cut 1 slit on the bottom here. And I'm going to cut 1 right across from it. So now I have 2 halves, and then I'm going to cut each of them in half again to make room for all the pieces of cardboard. There we go. It doesn't have to be exact, and I might have to trim a little bit farther up. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the fins and I'm going to push them into the 4 cuts. And it should go all the way down to the bottom. I think I got to cut mine a little bit farther. Let me do that real quick. There we go. The fins go right to the bottom of the rocket. Very nice, just like that. Now to hold your fins in place, take a piece of your duct tape, and I'm going to get a long piece here. About like that. You can use scissors to cut it if you can't tear it, and that's okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear it in half the long way, so I have 2 skinny strips. I'm going to take one of the skinny strips and I'm going to go tape these 2 sides together. Go over a diagonal over the where the fins are, like that. And then the other strip is, you're right, very good. The other diagonal, like that. I didn't do my tape very even, did I? But that's okay. And so as you can see, the fins are nice and spaced out, nice and even around the rocket. The rocket stands up like that. So the next part is to fix the top of the rocket and get that ready to go. So to do that, you're gonna take some tape and you're gonna wrap it around the top of your rocket 2 times. So I'm gonna start here. And just go around the top. My top isn't cut very flat from when I made my sprinkler. It's okay, it doesn't have to be. It'll still fly pretty straight. That's 1 time around. And that's 2 times around. I'm gonna use my scissors this time to cut it, just because I want to. There we go. So that kind of holds, makes the tip of your rocket a little bit stronger. And then I'm going to take the pencil and I'm going to poke a hole through the tape and the rocket. So I'm going to kind of envision, if you look at how wide the tape is, I'm going to try to go right in the middle of that. I'll poke through like this. And then you got to be careful, get your hand out of the way because we're going to push the pencil all the way through the other side of the rocket. So don't stab it into your hand. Make sure your hand's down off of the duct tape. Very good. That's that. And then I'm going to pull it back out, but not all the way. So if you can come in really close, if you see inside the rocket, I'm going to pull it back so that you can get something past the tip of the pencil there. You see the tip of the pencil inside? So we're going to leave it like that for just a second. Next, I'm going to take my 2 rubber bands and I'm going to loop them together. This is kind of complicated, but it's really cool when it works out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch both the rubber bands in the middle so they look like a bow. And then I'm going to push this through this side like that. And then I'm going to hold that together. And then I'm going to take this end of the other rubber band and push it up through that loop that I just made. And when you pull, they kind of make a little knot right there in the middle and they hold themselves together. Pretty cool. Now that I've got my rubber band launcher, I'm going to put it down inside. I'm going to put this single loop here inside the pool noodle and loop it around the pencil. Does that make sense? Let me do it for you real quick so you can see. So I've got it looped around the end of the pencil. See that in there? Once you do that, you're going to keep it looped around the pencil. I'm going to push the pencil back through the hole that I already made in the other side. And it should trap the rubber band on part of the pencil. Pretty cool. I'm going to push it through because I'm going to break the pencil off now. So now that I got the pencil in there where I want it, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to squeeze in a couple of different directions around the pencil right next to the rocket. I'm not squeezing very hard. All I'm doing is kind of making a line in the pencil. You can see there. And then once you do that, you can just break it pretty easy. It comes right off. I mean, I used 2 fingers for that. If this is a little bit sharp and you're worried about getting poked, you can use the scissors to just kind of smooth out that edge. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. You just get a pinch a little bit in a couple directions all around the pencil so that you kind of dent into the wood a little bit. And then this breaks right off. So now you got your rubber band trapped in with your pencil, you got your fins, you got your duct tape. This rocket is ready to launch. Okay, to launch your rocket, you're going to want to put the rubber band just on the very tip of your index finger. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to pull back with my right hand and I'm going to shoot with my left finger. So you want it right on the tip there. See how it's kind of in line with my finger? You don't want it down like this because then it's just going to hit your finger. So right on the tip of your finger. And then I like to hold this. I put one finger between each fin like that. Point up the sky, pull back, and then let go. There's your pool noodle rocket. I hope you all have a lot of fun shooting your pool noodle rockets outside today.